Hello everyone, welcome back. We're gonna do part two of Cerakoted slide problems today. I wasn't planning to do a second video. I just did this one over here, and then I want to test out those other slides over there, and I ran into a different problem, so that's why we're doing a second video. So in the first video that I did, um, the problem was that because of this heavy Cerakoting, right, that's on this slide, you can see how the barrel is hitting that and it's wearing it in. So when this was like before I started shooting this at all, this had a much thicker coat of paint on it, and it was making this stick. And if you look at the part one video, I'm shooting it. The gun works, but the slide comes back. It gets stuck in the open position for a second, and then it releases and it goes forward. And it was doing that continuously. So it was working, but it was just getting stuck there for like a few seconds. Um, so this is an easy fix of just this is really just a matter of breaking it in. You could just take a brush here, kind of brush that on the inside. You could brush that paint out there, or you could just shoot it, keep shooting it, running it back and forth with your hands. Eventually, it will break in. Okay, so that's great. Put this on the side, satisfied that works. And then I said, hey, let me test out these. These came from Armor Ally. This one came from AIM Surplus. Okay, this was like $140. This just came in like 2 days ago. I ordered this it came in on like June 10th. So I just got this. It's still running the special. If you're watching this video now, you can get on AIM Surplus. You can get this Alpine slide for $140. Okay, so these over here, these I got from Arm or Ally. Okay, I got these back in like December or January or something like that when they were running their winter special. Like that. So the cool thing is I was able to get the combination for $300, slide and frame, Cerakoted, $300. I kind of put it on the side, hadn't gotten around to doing it. So I got the 17, and this one here is the 19. So I got 17 and 19. So it's gonna look great when I get around to finishing this. But what happened was I got in a slide from True Precision. True Precision is a great company. I got one on my carry gun here, but I got in one slide where the end plate wasn't fitting into the slide, and basically it was just slightly out of spec. I tried different end plates in there, and I got it through off the Planet, so I just sent it back. Not a big deal, but that got me thinking that, hey, let me start checking my slides as soon as they come in to make sure they're not out of spec, right? Because if your frame's not fitting, it's your job to make it fit, right? But the slides, they should just come straight from the factory, and they shouldn't need any modifications. So I said, hey, let me pull these slides out and make sure that they work. So I started off with, which is the one I started. I started off with right. The 17 and the 19. They're so close in size. I mean, it's like a half-inch difference. So initially, I put the parts went in fine. I put the end plate on. End plate went in fine. Then I went to put it on the gun that's working, the working gun. This one. And I couldn't get it in there. It wouldn't get on the rails. So I'm thinking to myself, damn, these rails must either be out of spec or there must be so much freaking Cerakote in there that it's not fitting. So I couldn't get in there. And the problem that ended up happening, that I realized was happening, was this end plate wasn't going in all the way. Or actually, it was going in all the way because it was clicking, but it was just hanging a little low over here. And because it was hanging low, that's what would prevent this from getting onto those rails. So that was a really easy fix to get that working. This actually feels a lot smoother. This Armor Ally with this, and both of all my barrels are Hooper Gunworks. I'm using the same barrels, so this is actually a lot smoother, just going straight onto the gun than the AIM Surplus was. Let's get this off. Yeah. Now, I already had fixed that end plate. This one over here, see the difficulty I'm having? This one was a little bit better, but it's still, it's tight. Let's fix this, right? So yeah, see, when it goes in, it's just that end plate, and I wasn't sure what was happening. It took me, I had to really study this, but that end plate is hanging down just a tiny little bit, and it's like pinching the rails when they go in. See, it's just pinching that rail, and it's a really easy fix. Right, so for those of you who don't know, you're gonna put an Allen key in there and push down on the firing pin sleeve. Right, while with your nail, you're going to push down on the end plate. There you go. Get that up. So, I'll show you guys the fix. And you don't need a drummer for this because you're just trying to take off so little material. It's got like a little sanding, like a little stone here, right? So I'm just going to take this. That's the part right there where it's making contact. That's the part that I need to just bring down just a little bit. Right. On the other one, I had to take off a lot more. Not a whole lot more, but you know, just a little bit more. There was a little bit more interference. With this one, I'm not going to need that much. Take this side too, doing the other side. So that's all it is. And with the when this goes into the frame, there's these two pieces of metal over here. That's what holds it in place. So it's, you know, you don't have to worry about going too far with this. Although there's no reason to go too far. But I'm just saying, if get this back on there. Hanging down. You know what? I'm gonna take it down just a little bit more. Yeah, so still a little bit past going into the rail area a little bit. Should do it. I'm using the rougher side, so taking off a little bit more material. Go back to the soft side. So pushing the firing pin sleeve. We really should be doing this indoors because the shit goes flying. I'm gonna find it out here. There you go. Okay, you're in place. Yeah, that's it. All right, put it on. There you go. That went right on. This feels really, really smooth. The function test, hold it down. I mean, if I let it down slowly, it obviously that needs to break in a little bit. That Cerakoting is causing a little extra resistance there, but it'll work fine. That's just something that's got to break in. Let's try a couple rounds with this. See how that looks. So let's get the 19 on here. Now, one of the things I'm going to say, and I got to do a separate video on this. These slides, they do not have the optic posts. Okay, some people call them studs, some people call them bosses. But when you take the optic and you put it on there, and you put the optic, you can see how it wiggles back and forth. Okay, so on the recoil, that's going to move a little bit. So that's going to put stress on the screws. Okay, now I have specifically asked this question to, because with this one I could see that they didn't have the optic post. So I said, hey, it's $140. I'll just take it. You know, it's Cerakoted. I'll just take it. With this one over here, I had asked the question of Armor Ally, where I got this one. This one came from AIM Surplus, $140. These guys here came from Armor Ally. The winter special, I got both the slide and the frame for $300. So, and I specifically asked them the question of if it had optic posts, because I couldn't tell in I couldn't tell in the picture, and they said no, it doesn't have them, but you don't need it because the tolerances are so tight. Well, they're not that tight. So as I move this back and forth, there's definitely movement back and forth. Okay, so same deal with this one. So you definitely got a little bit of movement back and forth there. So so here's the thing, this slide here on the gun that lives on has done like 10,000 rounds. Never had to re-zero this. It just, you know, 10,000 rounds plus. These slides here are mostly going to be like safe queens, okay? Because they're so pretty. They got, you know, these are probably not slides that I'm going to run 10,000 rounds on, because I got other slides that have the optic post, okay? So just something to keep in mind if you want a slide that you can do tens of thousands of rounds on with an optic on it, make sure it's got the optic post. Okay, get my ears on. Let's try these guys out. See how it works. So, so this one obviously no optic, no iron sights either. Target at 40 feet. Let's see if I can hit it. Let's see if it's gonna work. Nope. It's getting a little bit, so it just needs to break in. That's the Cerakoting. But it's working. I mean, this is, you know, first shots. I haven't even put any oil on this thing. I'm satisfied that this is gonna be fine. Actually, that time it was working. Seems like it's working pretty fast. Okay. Yeah, it's just gonna need some rounds on it to wear in that Cerakoting, but this slide is gonna be fine. Take you off, put you with that. Yeah, so this frame that I mean, this feels so much smoother. So this frame and this slide here have done well over 10,000 rounds. Let's try this one. That was a G17 before. This is the G19. This one actually feels a little bit smoother. Again, no oil on it, nothing. It's just we're shooting this raw. This one's fine. This one's actually even smoother. Excellent. Yeah, so I'm really happy that this is going to work out fine. And like I said, the reason why I'm testing this out is because I did get that slide in from True Precision. And it was like, I mean, again, I've got so many of them, but it was one came in slightly out of spec, where I'm like, okay, let me not just sit on these slides. Let me test them out. You know, I mean, now that I know that they're working, you know, I'll get around to fixing, you know, to finishing these whenever I get around to finishing it. Well, at least I know I got a good working slide. But that's gonna look good. Now that I've kind of got the slide going, you know. I was gonna wait until the winter time, but I may end up moving this project up ahead a little bit. You know, I really like the color on this because I got lots of I got my other black and white ones that look like this one, but this is like a white and blue with a little bit of black. Okay, so I'm probably not gonna put the cover plate on this. I'm probably just gonna leave it like this because it just looks so cool, you know. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. So yeah, if you got slides with Cerakote on them, yeah, you want to get them tested out. Test it out on a frame that you know works, right? Like I did, right? I took out 2 frames that I knew were working, test it out on that. And then what's going to happen is when I build these frames, right? I'm not just going to take these slides, throw it on it, and shoot it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the slides off of these guns that I know work and use these slides to test out those frames and then debug them that way. And then once I know, because I already know the slides now work, once I get those frames working and I know I've already tested them, then I'm going to put those slides on those frames. And that's just going to, make my life so much easier as far as debugging them. Because my thing is, like, if you got a gun that's not working, isolate, right? And that's basically, the slide is like 50% of the gun, the frame is the other 50% of the gun. So if you can isolate your problem to the top or the bottom, I mean, half your work is done right there. Okay? Makes your life a lot easier. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you guys are following me on my other channels that are uncensored. On Rumble, I'm Pocono Guns. On Odyssey, YouTube, Gun Streamer, I'm Pocono Tactical. Okay, and on YouTube, I've got Absolute Guns, Pocono Shooting, and Safa. Okay, talk to you all soon.